Welcome back, boys and girls, to day 2 of Unit 4. What you're going to need to succeed is your mentor text, a pencil, and a highlighter. I'm sure most of you are ready to go, but just make sure you grab those things. Today, our goal today is that I can draw inferences to deepen my understanding of the text and use inferences to make predictions. We've talked about inferences before. We're just going to dive in deeper here in Unit 4. All right, if you'd open up your mentor text to page 6 and 7, I'm going to do the first read with you. Make sure you're circling any difficult or unfamiliar words that you see, and then also look for those 3 vocabulary words: skittish, blinkers, and cooped up. You ready? Here we go. Mom's latest good idea. From Return to Sender by Julia Alvarez. After Tyler's father injures himself, his family enlists some newly arrived Mexican workers to help them care for the family farm. Having just returned from visiting relatives, Tyler is unsure of how to interact with these new workers or with their daughters. I think it might be a good idea for you to go next door and introduce yourself, Mom greets Tyler at breakfast. It is his first morning back at the farm after being away. Tyler has missed the farm terribly, but one thing he has not missed is his mother's good ideas. Mom, Tyler groans, I already met them. Early this morning before breakfast, Tyler slipped into the barn to check on Alaska, his favorite show cow. The 3 new Mexican workers were there hard at work, but they looked up curious when Tyler entered. He waved hello and then hung out, even helping one of them, who can't be any older than Ben, put the milker on the skittish Oklahoma. I meant say hi to the girls, his mom explains. Tyler puts his head in his hands so he doesn't have to see anything but his bowl of cereal. Too late, he remembers his mother has told him this is rude. Horses have blinkers, not humans. But sometimes Tyler hates to tell her. Sometimes he would just as soon see less, not more, of the world around him, a world full of accidents, bad luck, and Mom's good ideas. But maybe, because he just got home yesterday, his mom doesn't say anything about his blinkers. Instead, she starts in on the sappy stuff that always makes Tyler cave in to her good ideas. They don't seem to have a mother, and they're cooped up in that trailer. It'd be really nice if you maybe just popped in and made them feel welcome. How's he supposed to make 3 girls feel welcome? Tyler hopes his mom is not suggesting that he has to be friends with 3 girls just because their father works on the farm. All right, let's turn the page. Okay, the very first vocabulary word that I see here is skittish. So let me read the sentence and let's see if we can figure out what it means. He waved hello and then hung out, even helping one of them, who can't be any older than Ben, put the milker on the skittish Oklahoma. Well, what do we know? Let's break it down. We know that they're on a farm, in a barn. A milker, well, that has to do with the cows, correct? And then it says Oklahoma. Well, it's capitalized. I don't think they're talking about the state. So I would guess that Oklahoma is one of the cows. So skittish is nervous or easily scared. New people trying to put the milker on one of the cows, it made that cow nervous, skittish. All right. Our next word that we were looking for was blinkers. Now, right away, you guys are thinking, Mrs. Inman, blinkers. On a car. That's what it is, blinkers on a car. No, this word has multiple meanings. So it says horses have blinkers, not humans. Well, blinkers, in this regard, is a guard that allows the horse to only see straight ahead. Now, I've provided a picture so you can see. Maybe some of you have seen a horse that looks like this before. So those are blinkers. It only allows that horse to see straight ahead. And last but not least, the other word or phrase we were looking for was cooped up. Now, I'm pretty sure that you're sitting there going, yep, Mrs. Inman, I get that, cooped up. I understand what that means because we've kind of been cooped up, haven't we? And in this instance, they're talking about the three girls being cooped up in their trailer, confined to a small area. Now, maybe our area hasn't been very small, our house maybe, but that's what cooped up means. So make sure if you haven't that you pause and you write these down or you highlight them and their definition. All right, we're going to talk about observation versus inference. So with an observation, you use your five senses. And observations, so smell, see, touch, hear, taste. And observations, there's no disputing it. What you observe is what it is. You can't argue with it. So an inference, you're observing, but it could be disputed. Okay? You may have questions about it. You're looking to see what the link is between, like what we just did with the word. Now, right now, you're probably making an observation that I am wearing, or I could possibly be wearing a clown wig. Well, your observation can't be disputed, can it? I am indeed wearing a clown wig. And now you might observe in the background that there are cabinets behind me. Your observation would be correct. Inferencing, you have to dig deeper. Figure out what the key is. So when you're making inferences, readers like us use story clues and what we know to discover what is not directly stated in the text. So I know we're not reading, but what's not directly stated here is you don't know where I am in my home. You don't know. I didn't tell you. You can't really tell where I'm at through an observation. You have to make an inference. So when we're going back to our text, you've got text clues plus your background knowledge equals the inference. Now, when we make inferences here, we're going to use a complete sentence. So we're going to use this sentence. I think, and you tell what you think and why. Because, and tell why you think that. You have to provide the evidence. And you end with punctuation. So, let's take a look a little bit deeper here. I want to look at the word good. Now, good, parentheses, sometimes has some sarcasm behind it, doesn't it? We've seen that before. Quotation marks can mean a joke, right? Or sarcasm. So right now, mom's latest good idea. To me, and the word latest, to me that's saying, okay, this is something that happens all the time. So when we want to write down what our inference is, we're saying that obviously Tyler's mom comes up with a lot of ideas. But, oh, I skipped it. I'm so sorry. But what our inferences can be, I missed a slide, is that I think Tyler's mom comes up with a lot of ideas because it says this is her latest good idea. All right, now go back to this page. Okay, so you're going to read paragraphs 3 and 4 on page 7. So you're looking for what can you infer about Tyler from the fact that sometimes he would just as soon see less, not more, of the world around him. And then you're going to support your inference with text evidence. You're going to use the word and the phrase, I think, and tell what you think, because, and tell why. And when you tell why, you have to give the text evidence there. So go ahead and pause and do that. All right. Here we go. So let's predict what will happen next. So it says, well, in the green highlight, it says, sometimes he would just as soon see less, not more of the world around him. It sounds like he's had some pretty tough times recently and is feeling bad, doesn't it? I mean, we don't know much about his dad's accident, but there's, been an accident. And then his mom's good ideas. And then I underline in purple that he puts his head in his hand so he doesn't have to see anything but his bowl of cereal. All right, well, that's telling us that it's hard for him, that it's tough on him. Because if you can envision that, he's doing this, looking down into his bowl of cereal, like, oh, not again. Okay, so I want you to evaluate your learning. And our goal today was I can draw inferences to deepen my understanding of the text and use inferences to make predictions. Before I have you score yourself, I want you to make a prediction about where I am. I haven't told you, so you can just observe maybe, but you definitely don't know because I didn't say. What can you observe? You see cabinets, you see maybe a door, you might even see the counter behind me. Some of you maybe already know where I'm at. I think I might have said before. So you're making a prediction by what you can see, and you can infer where I'm at. It's not the kitchen. All right, you're either a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1. Go ahead and rate yourself and put that on the corner of your mentor text. And I will see you tomorrow.